coming right there.
I know you guys come here for the Pew Pew gun stuff. I got that. But from time to time, we like to talk on other important subjects, survival, medical, stuff like that. So today I want to dabble into that realm a bit, right? The doomsday preppers out there, they'll tell you, the EMP, grid down, you're never going to have any electricity. You need to have hand saws, and I got that. Let's dial back a little bit. Let's talk about real needs for electricity during emergencies, normal emergencies, all right? Let's say, and it can be a hurricane. It can be a tornado comes through. It doesn't matter what it is, all right? Like it or not, our society relies on electricity. Everything from our phones, our computers, goes past that. The air conditioning in your buildings, even cooking. Everybody says, well, I can cook over an open fire. Yeah, but how many meals straight have you tried cooking over an open fire? The reality is most American males cannot even light their charcoal grill without lighter fluid, right? Now you get into emergencies, catastrophes. Think Katrina down in New Orleans. Think some of these hurricanes that have hit Florida, the panhandle there, even all up and down the East Coast, tornadoes in the heartlands, whatever it is, we measure emergencies by electricity. And what I mean by that is, did the electricity go out? It was a bad thunderstorm. All right, it was a bad thunderstorm, but did the power go out? All right, it was a bad hurricane, but did the power go out? Literally, that's how people remember things, because they lose all of those comforts in their life, right? Did it go out for a couple hours? Did it go out for a couple of days? The temperatures dropping down in Texas last winter, they all lost their minds down there because they lost electricity for a couple of days. Of course, everybody up north, they were like, really? It dropped below freezing and you all lost your minds. You see, it's different for everybody. It's not that it dropped below freezing. They lost their minds because they lost electricity. When Katrina went through, it wasn't the fact that people didn't have access to even electricity. You can live without electricity, you can. They lost their minds simply because the cell phone towers went down. They weren't able to talk to their loved ones. They weren't able to get up on the internet. That's those comforts that people have just grown so accustomed to always having access to, that anytime they pick up their phone, it automatically unlocks and they have instant access to the World Wide Web. I could care less about that. Water, sewage pumps, all that stuff. If you're even in a rural area, but now let's talk major towns, cities, major cities. If those pumps are not running to pull sewage away, if those pumps are not working to bring water in, you're screwed. Reality is we all need electricity, even short-term survival. Just having those comforts that keep our family from arguing with each other, we need electricity for that, right? A good example is that bad thunderstorm comes through and it pulls a bunch of the shingles off your roof, or that tree falls on your roof. Who are you gonna call to fix that? The local repairman? By the way, there's 200 other people that just dialed his phone number this morning because it's still raining and they all have holes in their roofs. So you just having the ability to take simple power tools and get up on your roof with your tarp, with your tacking nails, and be able to patch your own roof short term is going to keep a lot of extra damage from happening inside your house. Little things like that. Well, Carl, my batteries are already charged. Yeah, they're charged because you only use them for short-term little projects. But if you had to get up on the roof, that's not the time for you to figure out that your batteries for your power tools are not working. Well, I'll just use a handsaw. I keep a handsaw with me. Yeah, rain coming down, more lightning. I want to see you up there swinging a hammer, cutting a saw, because your wife's not holding the ladder for you. She's going to stay inside where it's nice and dry. All right, so what I want to talk about today is ways that you can provide short-term electricity for yourself. Now, Every high school kid on the planet is familiar with little backup battery packs. They keep these things in their book bags because heaven forbid their cell phone would die, right? So they specifically carry these things, and everybody does. You get to your executives on Wall Street. They carry the same packs. They're just a little bit prettier, and they basically, it'll charge that cell phone 3 or 4 times. So if they have that long conference call, or more likely if they're surfing Pornhub in the middle of that conference meeting, they have to be able to back up that phone. I cannot charge this with this. The reality is I can't do that. I can't. I need to have other ways to have electricity, larger packages, pushing more watts, but more importantly, more amps. Right? I need larger sources. I really do. Now, you'll see if you watch a lot of our other videos, I push jump packs. Right? You can take a jump pack, you can keep it in your go bag. Small solar panels, you can charge this. This particular one I love because it will literally push enough juice that I can jumpstart the 6.4 Hemi motor in my Jeep. In other words, I don't have to get out and run jumper cables anymore to somebody else's vehicle. I can literally get out with this, pop their hood. It's not taking a chance of damaging any of the electricity in my vehicle, and I can still jump someone else's vehicle with this. The cool part though is it's still got my USB port. So if this is all I had in my vehicle with me, and the family's losing their mind because their phone died or whatever, this, guys, you sitting down there post-hurricane waiting for the power company to rehook back up, just having a jump pack, basically a larger version of this, which is a larger version of this, you're going to be able to keep those loved ones a lot more entertained. Now, again, that's not going to help me deal with a lot of the other issues that I have. All right, so next up above batteries like this is you get into generators. Now, and generators come every size, shape, everything else. Large generators, and you'll see generators outside of every police station, outside of all your hospitals, things like that. So when there is an interruption of the grid, those things automatically kick on to provide electricity. They'll have, like your hospitals, have an underground buried fuel tank. They're good for weeks, literally weeks. Grid can be down. They will keep that hospital up and running. Now, my post-apocalyptic survival guys are going to be like, yeah, 2 weeks and then you're screwed. I agree with that 100%. The reality is fossil fuels will eventually run out on our pretty blue marble. I got that, right? But short-term survival, short-term emergency electricity, backup generators are the way to go. For example, my house, I have what they call it's a Generac generator. I have 5 houses up on my hill. I specifically put one generator on my house, but it's large enough that I can run the deep freezers, all the refrigerators, the hot water heaters, all that stuff, so that if necessary, I could literally bring in all the family members on my hill and I could keep them all comfortable. Power grid goes out, heat of summer, air conditioning, all that stuff. Post-tornado, whatever it is, I at least have one house that can that can literally take care of everybody. Now, when you look at backup generators like that, they come basically 2 ways. You can get it so it will run off of propane. Okay, that's a good good choice for a lot of people. For example, the local propane place is literally a quarter mile from our property here as far as getting resupplies. But the other option is natural gas. The cool part about natural gas is that's not going to run out. Shy of you having a hurricane, basically, not a hurricane, shy of you having an earthquake, you're not going to get that interrupted. Loss of power, everybody else is no longer drawing on that natural gas that's already pressured in the lines because they don't have the electricity to light that natural gas stove, that natural gas hot water heater. But mine being able to generate its own electricity, I chose to go with natural gas. Now, here's the cool part. Be smart, buy the propane jets for it, and it's very, very easy for you at your own user level if you're mechanically inclined to swap it out to run propane. And then again, I've got propane nearby. It gives me that extra option. Lots of other stuff on generators. Before I get into them, I'm gonna pause real quick so YouTube can slap you guys right in the face with another one of their commercials. I'll see you back in a minute. That's some good coffee right there. We were talking about generators before we left. Besides my backup generator that's permanent, hooked to my house, automatically cuts in, which is important because when I'm not home, you're not going to be able to ask the wife, especially not mine, to go outside and hook up the portable generator. No, it automatically throws the switch, and again, the house goes without power for about 3/4 of a second. Great option for me, but that may not be a good option for everybody else. You get a larger portable generator, rolls around on wheels. They're great, they're awesome. They'll run a lot of electricity. They're great for job sites. But as far as you taking that as an option to run your whole house, the reality is it doesn't push enough, it's just not gonna push enough amps for you. So you need to decide which circuits in your house do you want to run to it. Do you want to run the freezers, the refrigerators? You know, you need to decide what we want to do. And here's another thing that never really dawned on me until I started talking to guys in hurricane areas that have ran them for extended periods of time, is you leave it on for days and days, you thinking you're just pouring oil and fuel into it, it's going to keep going. The reality is it's not going to do that. So they recommend having 2 generators, run one for so many hours, and then literally change the oil in that one while the second one is running, and then just keep doing that. Guys, that's a lot of labor-intensive problems that none of us want to deal with. I got that, but just keep it in mind. If that's going to be part of your PACE plan, primary, alternate, contingency, emergency, give it some thought. Now, smaller backup generators. This one right here. This one's made by Craftsman. It's basically a copy of some of the more popular small ones. Honda's famous for how quiet their little backup generator is. I take this thing camping with me. I run it off of my little Hive camper, put it to the side, and it allows me to recharge my battery packs. This is great for job sites. It's great for, even bands use them to run their pianos and stuff at band practice. They're great. Can you run your house off of it? No. In other words, you're not going to run that deep freezer to keep all your frozen foods going. But you can run lighting. You can run chargers for your power tools. You can select things that you want to do. So anyways, it's decent. Okay. All right. I mentioned the Generac, the backup generator. One of the things that I saw from them, I've seen the commercials on it, is same company, Generac, is they're running the big battery on the wall that basically the same one that they run on the Teslas, except they put the solar panels up on your roof. So solar panels always going, this battery will always be charged. That's fine, that's awesome. You won't even have to think about it. Electricity goes out, that battery is already up and running. But again, think of when does the electricity go out where you're at, because situations are different. Your situation is different than mine. Your environment is different than mine. If you're out in Arizona, New Mexico, and the power goes out where you're at, it's probably some drunk redneck just hit the local power pole with his truck. Okay, fine, they'll get it fixed. You have plenty of sunshine where you're at year round. Solar panels may be a great option for you up on the roof of your house. Great option. Me or a lot of people in central southern the US, if the power goes out, it might be an ice storm where the ice has weighted down all the branches, shorted out the power lines. It may be right after a hurricane. My point though is we go months in a row in the wintertime where literally the sky is overcast for weeks, months at a time, and your solar panels are just not going to be bringing in enough juice to keep your whole house floating. It's not going to happen, right? So and there are shortcomings of that's a shortcoming of solar. But even generators, they've got shortcomings also. Storage, where are you going to store this generator, which, by the way, is like on the top 10 stuff that rednecks like to steal. Where are you going to store all the excess fuel for it? The size of these things, the larger you get, better. I got that. But now it's more space taken up. You need to consider the noise, the amount of decibels these things put off. I specifically picked this one because it is very, very quiet, but it doesn't put out as much juice. If the grid is down, if the power's down, any light people see, because remember, their families losing their minds because they can't get on their cell phones, they can't watch TV, the air conditioner's not running, you have the only light on in the neighborhood, you're going to have people drawn to you like bugs wanting to siphon electricity off of you. Hey, can you help me out? Can you help me out? So anyways, generators, pros and cons, pros and cons. For example, you live in an apartment, they're probably not going to allow you to store a big Honda generator right next to your bed in the master bedroom. It smells like petroleum. The oil reservoir leaks. It's not a good plan. All right, let's go in another direction. All right, there are things called emergency power packs. I found this one a while ago, and I've been beating on it a bit. Define beating on it, Carl. Let's define beating on it. Take it camping. All right, take it to the beach. Take it to Gulf Shores. Sit it there and sit it in the vehicle for a while, and just getting into the vehicle and seeing it there doesn't take up a lot of space, right? But just seeing it there, peace of mind, really. Guys, this is called the Bluity, I think that's how you pronounce it, the Bluity EB55. This is the new latest and greatest one. This is considered their flagship right now. I want you to see how small that puppy is. That thing's puny, isn't it? Now, 537 watt-hour capacity. You got to keep it charged at least 80%. What does that mean? About every 6 months. Check it. Literally, push the button on the front of it, and it'll tell you. Let's see. You don't even push that many. Push any of them. Give me a percentage here. We're good. I'm over 80% on this thing charged right now. Push it literally push the button every couple of months. It's good. If it's not, plug it in the wall, bring it back up to 80%. Run it full, 537 watt hours. Right? So you can charge computers, every kid in the family's iPad and iPhone, keep everything afloat, and that's going to keep people happy. Now, if you look on the front, you'll notice it's got four 110 volt, 700 watt AC. So in other words, I can run all my alternating current battery chargers. I can plug in a lamp. I can plug in the hot plate. I can plug in whatever it is that I need to do to in order to keep my family floating in an emergency situation. Now, USB ports, obviously it's got them. It's got a micro USB. It's even got a cigarette lighter if that's the only connector that you have. Basically, you can power 13 devices simultaneously. I want that to sink in because everybody's going to want, hey, I need to charge my phone. I need to charge my phone. I got that. Recharging this thing to charge it back up. Now, you can run 200 watt solar, 200 watt maximum solar. In other words, I won't be able to plug the panels from the house into this thing. But if you've got that standard, like the solar panel out of my camper, 200 watt solar panel plugs right in, and it comes with all the cables and everything that you need. You can quickly recharge this thing. I haven't charged it with solar. Why? Because the grid hasn't gone down yet. I literally plug it right in the wall, 200 watts alternating current. This thing fills right back up. I can charge it off of the cigarette lighter in a car. I can charge it off of my generator, right? And what this allows me to do is I want to save fuel. While this is running to power other stuff, I can be charging this turn that off, and I can use this as a separate battery pack to get us through the night. All right, now remember, let's say you're one of those guys that you can't have that generator. Maybe your neighbor's got a generator, your friend, one of your family members. I mentioned I only have one here. All right, on the hill. Every house on the hill could have one of these. We could quickly charge them up. All right. We're going to pause again real quick before I get into a lot of the other features. This thing is badass, guys. I'll see you right back after this next commercial. I'm pretty sure you guys hate those commercials as much as I do. You guys hate those commercials? I hate those commercials. We got to do it. We got to play the games. We got to play the game. When we left off, I was bragging on this thing. Guys, I can't say it enough. I really do love this thing. Now, people are like, man, it's a big battery. You know, batteries are dangerous. They vent. They do everything. Guys, here's the deal. This thing right here has got what's called, it's durable, but it's also one of the safest batteries out right now. It's called the Life PO4. Very, very, very safe battery. It's got your little night light for the kids on the back. So if you just got it sitting in the tent while you're out camping, understand it's not just for emergency, guys. It's great, literally great for camping. You sit this thing in the back of the vehicle and you don't have a generator leaking stuff all over the place. You got different brightnesses. You got the strobe and everything. Sexy stuff, right? Good stuff. But the big thing is you can put this thing in the box, leave it in the back of the closet. You're not going to have to worry about, hey man, I smell diesel. I smell gas in my house. If you're in an apartment, guys, this is perfect for you. Literally perfect. You could have 3 of these, and you understand 3 of these side by side take up about the space of a case of MREs. That's 12 meals. Right? Literally, very, very, very small stuff. Comes with everything that you need. You sit this thing in a vehicle, strap it down so it's not flying around when you roll your Jeep. That's right, we're not supposed to roll our Jeeps. I got that, all right? Perfect for vehicles, perfect for long road trips. I didn't really think it would be cool to have in my Jeep, because when I'm towing my camper with me, I got all the batteries in the camper that wire everything. I got that. But when we took off and went wheeling for the whole day and we stopped for lunch, we stopped because we were hung up on the rocks real bad. It was cool to have a battery pack there that I could literally take care of everything. So, you know, it's another option. It's decent stuff. All in all, and again, guys, I recommend this one to you. It's called EB55. They've got a couple other models if you're wanting more or less, basically watt hours. This one's got, like I said, it's got 537. It's badass. It really is. Electricity, guys, like it or not, you're going to need it. The people that say, well, I don't need electricity because I got my hand saw and I've got my hand drill, I'll be able to save the day. Your significant other, your spouse, and your kids could care less that you can fix the roof or not. They want to be able to get on those iPhones. And the reality is those cell phone towers may be down for a couple of days. If everybody has ran their phones dead before the cell phone towers come back up, you're screwed, right? So you can't scream for help if you don't have a way to do it. So having electricity is a big part of your communications plan. It's a big part of your medical plan. Having electricity is a big part of your survival plan. So don't just think survival being end of world, post-apocalyptic. It's not, guys. We get ice storms, we get thunderstorms that are bad. It is, and like it or not, wouldn't it be nice if you could keep your whole family comfortable for a little ways, all right? Just a little bit. All right, electricity. You know you're gonna have to need it. Can you make electricity, but more importantly, can you store electricity? All right, that's all I got. Again, check this thing out. We're gonna put the link for it underneath. You can check it out. One push button and it'll take you right there so you can purchase this thing. That's all I got this week. Y'all take care and shoot straight. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter so you don't miss out on anything.